Also have some video questions which have been sent through by readers of smh.com.au. Here's one for Barry O'Farrell from Rod Morris.
Mr O'Farrell, will you change any of the current plans for Barangaroo, but specifically the overall bulk of the buildings, the transport infrastructure plans and the impact on Wynyard Station, the hotel and pier in the harbour, the moving of the cruise ship terminal to White Bay, and the remediation, not removal, of the toxic soil under the site?
Look, my concerns about Barangaroo relate to the concerns we always have about a Labor government, which is the process, the changing rules, and I am concerned that a tender which was meant to be for an area that was either land or wharf ended up also being for part of the harbour. We'll see when we get there what can be done. My concern, though, is to ensure that in future, Barangaroo, which should be a showcase of our capacity to be a regional financial capital, is never again repeated with changing rules that raise concerns in the community about the way in which decisions are being made. I also wouldn't have a politician heading the process.
Mr O'Farrell, you're happy with the current proposal and there'll be no changes?
I've said before, and I'm going to say this time and time again, what you need are clear rules, clear guidelines, and what happens within that should be a matter for the private sector and the community to have a say on. What I don't think politicians should do, and it hasn't happened since Bob Carr was around, is start to say what colour, what size, what shape. But I am concerned that part of the harbour ended up in this tender.
So changes may be ahead, Premier?
Well, let's understand what Barangaroo is. It is a statement about who we're going to be in the next generation of this city, Asia Pacific's financial services hub. It's a fantastic development. 30,000 jobs will be supported there, a new headland for our harbour, and a remarkable and iconic site for our city. Now, with just one fact about the opposition's lack of understanding on Barangaroo, their shadow spokesperson says that we need a passenger cruise terminal at Barangaroo because we need a passenger cruise terminal east of the Harbour Bridge. Barangaroo is west of the Harbour Bridge. This is how little detail they have on Barangaroo. This is how shallow their understanding is about one of the most significant developments in this city's history.
How will you address, though, the issue of cruise ships coming into Sydney Harbour and rising demand?
There's a few issues around cruise ships. The future generation of cruise ships will not fit under the Harbour Bridge, but that doesn't mean there still won't be a number of cruise ships that do. And we will build a new passenger cruise terminal. In fact, it's recently been approved at White Bay. We also are working with the Commonwealth right now on gaining further access east of the Harbour Bridge, particularly at the Garden Island site.
Premier,
that is really where the future of big cruise ship terminals will lie.
That is time, and I will stress, Mr O'Farrell, that was included in the question originally put to you, and you both had a fair amount of time. Let's go back to our